Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a video on how to travel with a baby or toddler. I recently took my 12-month-old baby boy to Vegas. It was our first time flying and it was my first time flying as well, and it went pretty smoothly, and I'm going to share some tips and tricks that we used to make it as smooth as possible. Now I am getting ready to go on a road trip, so we're getting ready to drive to Gulf Shores, Alabama. And on the way down there, we are splitting up the drive by driving, staying the night, and driving the rest of the way. It is about a 12.5-hour drive for us. I think that's about how long it is, something like that. And then on the way back, we are going to drive straight through, I believe. So if you guys are interested in seeing how to make traveling a little bit easier with the toddler, then just keep watching. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Kailyn and I make beauty, mama, lifestyle content, and I also do daily vlogs. So if you're interested in seeing more videos from me, then just subscribe and hit the bell notification right next to it, and you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So like I said, my little boy Brooks is almost 13 months old. He was around 12 months old whenever we traveled for the first time. Ever since he was a baby, he's always been really good in the car, and I think I've set myself up by trial and error to learn what works and what doesn't for him. And this will vary from kid to kid, baby to baby. So just keep that in mind. You know your child the best, you know what works for you, so whatever you feel comfortable with, do that. I'm just gonna show you some tricks that I've learned that has helped us. So the first tip is say a prayer that they will sleep, which is hilarious because I feel like anytime I really want Brooks to sleep, he won't. He's wide awake. So what we did on the way there is we flew around 5 o'clock, and he usually takes a morning and an afternoon nap. Well, he slept all the way to the airport, which is about a 2-hour drive. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's not gonna sleep. Then once we got there, he was awake through the whole security check-in situation. And then once we got on the plane, we sat towards the back of the plane, and it's louder, I guess, towards the back because of the motor. So that almost acted as a white noise machine, and it instantly put him to sleep. So he was asleep for the first hour of that plane ride. Now on the way back, we actually flew back at midnight. So we got the red-eye flight, and honestly, I was nervous about it at first, thinking he would be awake the whole time. But guys, he slept the entire time. Literally, whenever the plane took off, he fell asleep, and then he was asleep the entire way until we were landing. And it was about a 3.5 hour flight. So that was awesome. If you can plan it to where it's at night, or if you drive during the night, that is best with kids because they're used to their schedule. They will sleep. Next tip is to bring all of the things that make them feel comfort. So whether that is a pacifier or a blanket or just something that has your scent from home that will remind them of comfort and peace, anything like that. So things that they're used to. So Brooks takes a pacifier. He had that pacifier clipped on him at all times. So on the plane, he had the pacifier in his mouth, I'd say 90% of the time. If not, then we also had a bottle. So just bring everything that you think that will make them comfortable. Another tip that I would recommend doing is bringing an iPad and downloading movies onto your iPad. While you're up in the air, you're not going to have Wi-Fi most of the time. I think some planes offer it, but ours didn't. So we downloaded a couple of movies and had them on the iPad ready to go. So he watched the iPad a good majority of the time. He loves watching Puppy Dog Pals or Mickey Mouse, and that really helped save us. So I know some people limit screen time, but honestly, all things go out the door when you're traveling. Whatever will keep them from screaming their head off is what you're gonna do. So have that iPad charged and ready because you're gonna need it. If you don't know what guided access is, I would recommend looking into it. Basically, you can lock the iPad and it'll still play the movie. Your little ones, when they touch it, it's not going to get off of the screen or like click on a bunch of different things. It's gonna be locked. So they can watch the movie and they can touch the iPad without it going nuts and clicking off and you having to, you know, struggle to get it back on. You don't have to worry about it. You just plug in a password and you're good to go. It's like the best thing ever. Another thing I recommend bringing is a bag of toys. Not a big bag, just like a Ziploc baggie, or just throw some toys into your diaper bag that your baby isn't used to playing with. So that could be anything. Brooks loves to chew on bath toys, that silicone, you know, type of bath toys, cheap kind. He loves those, so I brought a couple of those. He also really likes trucks. Another thing that I brought that was a little bit different were window decals. So you know those like little spongy things you can put on windows? That's what we brought for the plane. I think that's what they're called. I don't know, window decals, but they're like the squishy kind that's decorative. Get a bag of those. I found them at Target's dollar spot, and that was the best dollar I've ever spent. We were cracking up. He thought it was so funny, and even the little boy behind us on the plane thought it was hilarious. So that's a good way to entertain them for like a good 15 minutes. Another thing is kind of an obvious one, but bring all of the snacks. Literally all of them. No matter what, I know, you know, people don't want snacks or want to limit their food, but honestly, bring the goldfish, bring the Teddy Grahams, bring everything. And I would also suggest bringing your own apple juice or getting some right before you get on the plane after you've been through security. If you do bring it, some airports are different, but most of the time they'll have to check it and it takes a little while. So just buy it at the airport. It's fine. They'll drink it on the plane and it'll be good to go. Another thing on the plane is to get a window seat. Babies love looking out the window, especially whenever we were like just sitting there and waiting for everybody to get on. He could kind of look out the window and entertain himself that way, and he also loved to pull down on it. So that entertained him for a while. I would highly recommend getting the window seat. Another thing that we did for Brooks was we got a portable sound machine, and that really helped because that's his normal feeling. So if you weren't in the back of the plane and didn't have that motor going, I'd recommend bringing just a little portable sound machine. It doesn't have to be very loud, no one else even has to hear it, but just setting it somewhere or clipping it onto your bag and turning it on, and it just creates a white noise so your baby can just relax and sleep if that's what they're used to. Whenever you're flying, I know this is also another obvious one, but make sure that your baby is either taking a bottle or has a pacifier in whenever you're going up in the air. That way it won't hurt their ears. I know a lot of times we forget about it and you're busy and you know you're trying to entertain them and you forget that whenever takeoff comes, hey, you know, my baby's ears might start hurting or popping, and if you just keep their jaws moving, it'll really help take that pressure off. And last but not least, just try to stay calm. If you're calm, your baby's gonna be calm. So I just encourage you, don't get stressed out about it. I was really nervous at first, but honestly, it wasn't a big deal. My mother-in-law went with me and it really was pretty smooth. I couldn't ask for a better flight. On the way back, we had a pilot in training and it was a little bumpy, but it made Brooke sleep the whole time, so I'm fine with it. But if your baby does have a meltdown and freaks out, just know it's okay. It's okay. Even if they scream the whole time, it's okay. You're gonna get there and you're gonna have a great trip and it's going to be fine. So everyone around you, you know what? They just have to deal with it. You're a mom, you know what your baby needs, you know what he or she is going through, so don't worry about everyone else. Just focus on your baby. Most of the time, people will understand. They'll feel sorry for you. They know how it is. Most people have had kids themselves and they know where you've been. So honestly, just don't sweat it. All right, that is it for my tips with traveling with a baby. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below any other tips that you think would be helpful for people to know when you're traveling with a baby. And as always, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.